everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and today Apple released watchOS 8.7 to the public. This is available to all watchOS 8 supported devices from the Series 3 all the way up to the Series 7 Apple Watch. And this was released alongside iOS 15.6, iPadOS 15.6, macOS 12.5, tvOS 15.6, and HomePodOS 15.6. All of those are available at the same time everywhere around the world. Now, this particular update came in at 570 megabytes on my Series 6 Apple Watch. This is the titanium one I used in videos quite some time ago, since my regular one is on watchOS 9. And if you're on watchOS 9, you won't have this update as you'll be on a newer version. Also, if you're on watchOS 8.7 betas and you updated to the latest release candidate, you also won't have the update because you're already on it. You just have it a week early or so. So if you wanted to get out of the beta program, just remove the beta profile overall. Now let's take a look at the build number and talk about what's new. So we'll go into our settings here. Under settings, we'll go to general, then we'll go to about, and as you can see, the build number is 19U66. The build number just tells us that we're on the current version that's available to everyone, and as long as you have the same version number, you'll know you're on the latest version. Now, as far as what's new in this update, as you can see from Apple's notes here, what they've said is this update includes improvements, bug fixes, and important security updates. Now, typically along with this, they'll give us a long list of things they've updated and fixed. However, this time around, they haven't said a single thing. So we know it's improved. They didn't add any features, but they added bug fixes and security updates. And I think mostly this is probably for security updates, as there's quite a few to be found. If we go to Apple's security website, on their security website, all you need to do is scroll down on the page and you'll see the recent ones released today and go to watchOS 8.7. As you can see here, if we scroll down, there's over 25 of them. And if I counted properly, there's 26 or so. So as you can see, everything from APFS, as we scroll down, we have Apple Neural Engine. If we keep going, file system events, GPU drivers, kernel, and much, much more. So quite a few security updates here. And let's go through one of them so you can see what they've changed. So for the Apple Neural Engine, for example, it says available for devices with Apple Neural Engine. So this is for the Series 4 and later. The impact is what the problem was. An app may be able to break out of its sandbox, meaning it could interact with other apps and it's not supposed to. The description is the issue was addressed with improved checks. And as we go down, again, you'll see maybe with GPU drivers, an app may be able to execute arbitrary code with kernel privileges. To fix it, a memory corruption issue was addressed with improved validation. And then they also give the CVE number, or the number referring to what was actually resolved, and the person that submitted the issue. So there's a ton of them. I'll link those in the description if you want to read through those. You can see those for iOS and everything else also. Now, as far as what you're going to experience on this, of course, security updates you're not going to see, but whether or not you should install it, well, if you're on the current version of watchOS, I would definitely install it, as that's a lot of security updates and different things that they've patched. However, anything else seems to be okay. As far as the battery life so far on this watch, you'll see I'm at 81%. Now, I installed this afternoon. It's been on for about probably 13 to 14 hours at this point, and it's actually doing quite well. I haven't been using it a whole lot since I've been using a different watch, but in standby, it's drained down to 81 since it was doing some background activity. However, it charged quite quickly, as I know quite a few people are concerned with the charging speed, as that was a problem for some of you. But this actually charged pretty quickly, even though technically it doesn't have the fast charging. If we go into settings and go to our battery life, we'll go over to battery and go down to where we have battery here. Under battery, give it a moment. You'll see again it's at 81%. My battery health on this device is at 88%. Now, this is a little bit older device. It's almost 2 years old at this point. I used it for an entire year full-time and then used it part-time here and there, as it's titanium and super light, so it's really nice. And overall, it seems to be holding up well. Now, unfortunately, there's no easy way to change the battery in this, so as it gets lower, we'll maybe investigate that in a separate video. Overall performance, though, you can see everything's pretty quick as I go through different apps, go into different things such as weather or activity and more. Everything loads nice and quick, and if I open something I don't regularly open, such as Overcast, you'll see that's pretty quick, but it is loading a little bit here. Give it just a moment, and you'll see it loaded. And maybe we'll go into the Noise app. Again, that wasn't open and now it is. So it seems to be performing as I would expect with this particular device. No issues there. Basically the same CPU we have in the Series 7, so no issues as far as performance. Now finally, if those of you wanted to know what watch face this is, as I get asked that all the time, if we press and hold, you'll see it says Infograph Modular. This is Infograph Modular with the app called Lumi in the middle. So if we go over to our complications, tap on the middle, you'll see it's called Lumi. This was a paid for app I actually purchased myself, and then you can set things such as countdown to golden hours, sun timers, countdown to moon times, and more. So you've got all of those options for Lumi if you want to use this, countdown to sunrise, and that's for photographers for the best time to take video or photography around golden hour. So that's all this is. Pretty simple, and that's what I've been using. Now with this update, of course, we didn't have any major changes. Most of those will be coming with watchOS 9. So we already know what a lot of those features are. I have separate videos about that, and you can expect that sometime in mid-September, typically around the time Apple announces the new iPhone 14 and 14 Pro, Pro Max models, and also the Apple Watch Series 8. So usually around that time, we'll see those new updates. However, we could get one or two more updates before that release in September with a watchOS 8.7.1 or watchOS 8.8. We should know that very soon, within either this week or next, if we have iOS 5.7 betas, where Apple typically does one more in August. So we'll have to wait and see, but you can expect something like that very soon. Now, if you found anything else in watchOS 8.7 that I haven't mentioned, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, if you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, I'll link it in the description like I normally do. If you haven't subscribed already though, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.